move on and keep going. Imagine we had one more life, one more shot at sunrise. Erase everything, start with new eyes. Break the same tragic goodbyes. Wanna dance one way.
One, two, coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John, you know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it, my words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it, you know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly, we ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all, peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah, come on. Hey.
It's April 6th, 2023, and you are watching episode 330 of the PHPUgly podcast. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We've been waiting for you. We are a weekly podcast that focuses loosely on PHP, the programming language, the community, and all the happenings that go along with that. I am one of your hosts. All of our hosts are treated equally here. I want to make that clear up top. I guess there was some confusion on that, but I am one of your hosts, Eric Van Johnson, and I welcome you. I welcome you here. If this is, again, your first time joining us, there are a few things that you might want to know. One thing is you can be part of the live stream, which we stream every Thursday night around 9 p.m. Pacific Coast time. And to be part of that live stream, all you have to do is join us in our Discord at discord.phpugly.com. It's not only there for the show, it's there all week long. Great group of people in there. Fantastic, smart, and helpful. I mean, quite honestly, I've reached out to many of them for many things, so I do appreciate them. This show is made a little better thanks to some sponsors we have, honeybadger.io and PHPStorm, and our supporters on Patreon. We're going to talk about all of them more a little later in the show, but for now, allow me to introduce my fellow clowns in coding, John Congdon.
I have so many questions right now.
And Tom Rideout.
I don't have any questions.
What do you mean you don't have any questions?
Do this!
How could you not have questions?
What questions do you have? Hey, I got a full glass of scotch tonight. It's been one of those days, and I have a feeling it's going to be one of those nights. So
that's the way to get started. But now I want to know what this drama is around one of your hosts, and you made a big deal out of it being one of the hosts.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know, John. I don't know what I'm referring to, John. Don't know what at all.
Was there some drama that I missed?
You just don't pay attention. You don't pay attention at all. You've
That's
got
impressive.
to be part of the meetings.
That's very impressive.
Meetings. And
I don't. I'm not gonna, John. I'm not gonna point out. I'm not gonna call out any names, and I'm gonna point anybody out. But somebody was offended that I might have referred to him as a co-host, which technically we're all co-hosts. But
so, and then the other question is, you keep talking like there's this grand future and things are great, and then I saw a tweet and I'm confused.
what tweet did you see that confuses you now, John?
Well, I will share it in Discord, and if you want to see it, go to discord.phpugly.com. One of my friends tweeted out, "This might be my last show, and I am scared."
That's me.
Oh,
That's me,
yeah. I forgot you are a friend.
Yeah, man. I think we have a whole Scarface situation happening here. I can't be positive, but I think my current wife is trying to have me killed.
Oh,
Either my current wife or my mother-in-law might be doing it because they're out visiting. There's a possibility it might be my niece as well. Somebody's trying. They might all be trying to kill me. But I know I get home today. We have guests from out of town, mother-in-law and a niece, and my wife, my current wife, are all here at the house. I get home, they bail. They're staying the night somewhere else because they have to babysit some dogs or some crap. I'm pretty sure she's having me killed tonight. I think that's what's happening.
And doesn't want to be around.
They just all needed to be out of the house. They needed to be each other's alibi.
do you think it's like a gas leak situation? Or?
No, I think it's like a Scarface thing where just all these assassins are gonna, just come into my house.
Sure. I could definitely see that being worth paying money for.
Pretty confident.
Okay, I'm glad I clarified that because that was very confusing.
No. I mean, I'm glad one of my last acts here on Earth will be to clarify things for you, John.
I appreciate
what
that.
I tried to do. Oh man, I've had a rough,
just
rough day.
Make sure it looks like an accident. That's all I say.
All right, let's go around the horn. Tom, how was your week?
Pretty good. I've got a short week here. This is my last work day of the week. Tomorrow is a refresh day. Take some time and do some self-care stuff. So I am going to sleep in until 2-ish.
That's one way to take care of yourself.
Company-wide thing?
Yeah, for the engineers, they get a couple sort of speckled days off to care for themselves and do their own thing. So,
Okay.
so I'm happy, but I actually think I am going to be working tomorrow because I pushed a bug out today. So I need to push the bug fix out tomorrow. But it happens.
Oh, I know about that happening.
Yes, tell me about your week there, John.
Same thing. All of a sudden, I happen to be working on something on Wednesday, which is the normal release day. And I took something I was working on and rebased it onto the latest develop branch, and all of a sudden things started breaking. I was like, what? Why? What's going on here? And I reached out to another developer. I'm like, hey, I need help with this because I think that this is going to break stuff in production when it goes live later this afternoon. And it turns out it wasn't his PR that broke things. It was his change that exacerbated an issue with my code. And the whole thing is storing serialized objects, storing that data in a database, and then when you go to unserialize it, it was breaking. And all he did was introduce an actual serialized and deserialized serialized and unserialized magic methods to the class because that's the proper way to handle that. If you don't, PHP gets smart and tries to take care of it for you. My code didn't necessarily touch that class in specifically. It was more I was serializing a class that also had that class in it. Long story short, he didn't do anything wrong, but the way I was serializing broke things. Luckily, not that bad of a fix, and the data that was stored wasn't
that like nobody did anything wrong, but I broke it.
No, I did it wrong in the fact that I was serializing the object and not realizing it was also using classes that did not have a serialized and unserialized method. Therefore, PHP tries to get smart and handle it, and it was working fine. But as soon as you introduce those methods, you no longer have access to the data that you need. Whereas, had I had those methods on there to begin with, fixing it is not that big of a deal.
Gotcha.
The good news was it was caught before it went live. But then it went live anyway, and things still broke.
My serialization errors are always related to like when the class changes. And so you rebuild a class from serialized data and it says, oh, this is an incomplete now. You have to complete the class.
Right. So that's the serialized, unserialized thing. If you have those methods, then you can provide sane defaults.
Right.
If you don't have those methods, it serializes fine. And like you said, as long as you don't change the class, you can unserialize fine. But as soon as you make any change, it's like, it's incomplete. I don't know what to do. Best practice, add those methods. Serialize, unserialize. Know how you're recreating your classes or your objects. And then as things change, you can, I think it's called upcasting. You can make the proper changes that are necessary for data that you have that's older.
I like it.
Yeah. And Eric, was your around the horn a baseball thing?
You know,
when you said that?
Everything is baseball in my life. Yeah.
Hey, baseball.
It's been fun watching the new rules really screw with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Eric, I want to hear about your week, and then I'll talk more about baseball for you.
Well, I mean, you know how part of my week went. John and I did a little pair programming. He kind of demystified mocking for me. Although I think I would have gotten there on my own. I was just about going down the path that John took me down. So yeah, but it was nice to have him there to ask a couple questions. But yeah, did some mocking for the services we talked about. Went really well.
But based on that, what happened there, I really wish we had a Laravel specific testing tutorial or presentation at Tech.
We do. It's called Pest.
Yeah, I was gonna say that seems like something
from the Pest creator themselves. Nuno will be talking about Pest. So I am very excited about that. Man, I am both excited and terrified about how quick Tech is approaching. This weekend's a big weekend for us. Big weekend for us. We got a Champ in our Discord is heading out to good old Maryland and picking up all the equipment and almost taking it to Chicago for us, but not. Just coming up just short so he can blackmail us, hold it ransom. Very smart on his part. I've got to hand it to him. Not to put any ideas in his head or anything, but
now just to be clear here, Champ is a person you have actually met before, right?
Never met him. Never met him.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
No, can't see anything wrong with that.
We met him in the important way, Tom. You and I have played Rocket League with him.
We have played Rocket League together.
Well, there you go. That's all. That's all you need to know. You get a sense of his driving ability, so you're good. I'm sure that's all good.
Yes. He's going to blow up at least 4 cars on the way to Chicago.
But I am my stress level is going to reduce dramatically after this weekend when I hear Champ say, "Hey,
I
it's
got
in
the
storage.
tags.
We're good."
Got it back. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to hear, and that's only half the battle. We do actually have to get to Chicago after that, but we're baby steps right now. We're just baby stepping it right now. So yeah, that's big. I had a absolutely frustrating day today. I want to share it with you guys, and then hopefully we can talk some more about PHP. But I've got to unload this because it's just like eating me away. Nothing you guys can do about it, and I just want to put AT&T on blast because you guys are dicks. I've used AT&T for my personal lines. I've had 5 lines on AT&T cellular for over 20 years. Like when the iPhone first came out, I had just switched to AT&T like a couple months before that happened, and then it turned out, oh yeah, this is the network that's going to get the first iPhone. If you remember, the first iPhone was only on AT&T.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get an iPhone because I'm part of that crowd. So that's how long I've been with AT&T on a personal level. A while back, when my kid moved up north, they were doing so much. They hadn't had an opportunity to get internet set up, and I was like, yeah. You're not going to be up here without internet. First thing, they needed internet to get their job done. But I'm like, there's no way I'm leaving you here without internet. So I ordered this. I have it right here. I ordered a very expensive mobile hotspot, Wi-Fi hotspot. And I'd gone to AT&T in downtown San Francisco, and they were great. They were like, hey, we can only get you this much on a personal plan, but if you have a business plan, we can do all this other stuff for you. It could be unlimited. It could be way faster. I'm like, yeah, I happen to own a couple companies. Let's do a business plan. So this was for, this was a workaround. It was for personal use, but it was a business plan. So they had set us up, and John and I had just taken over operations of PHP Architect. So when I had given them the tax ID for PHP Architect that we had established, they're like, that tax ID isn't coming up. I'm like, all right, it's very new. It's only like a few months old. Let me just give you my other company, Diego Dev, and gave it to them. That worked. They got that working. They got me all set up. No problem. Kept that service for 6-7 months. That was one of the things. You're like, hey, you can just cancel whenever you want. Just cancel. Just call and say you're canceling. It's fine. So I kept it for about 6-7 months, maybe a little longer. I forget exactly. But it went away. So I've had this hotspot. I've been holding on to it. And we have tech coming back up. And for a couple of reasons, we're thinking we want a hotspot, a very reliable, high-speed hotspot. Probably a couple. AT&T. Like 4. It would have been 4, you dicks. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, we have a business account with AT&T because I started it. And so I call them up and they're like, yeah, sure, no problem. We'll send you out another SIM. And they send me out another SIM. Doesn't work. So I call them back up. They're like, hey, your account's been canceled or closed. I forget. I'm like, well, how the hell that happened? I didn't cancel or close it. You guys just sent me a SIM card. They're like, yeah, I don't know. Let's try to reopen it. And it was just like this thing where they're like, okay, my supervisor needs to call you back. Give it about 24 hours. And I gave it like a day and they didn't call me back. So I had to run one of my kids to the airport this morning. And I'm like, okay, typically what I do, because it's a long drive, I think I explained this before, I hang out in the area until the airplane actually takes off. So I'm like, okay, I'll run to the AT&T store. I'll get all this worked out. I'll get this hotspot working. My kid went into the airport, got through security, waited to board the plane because they were about half hour, 45 minutes early, got on the plane, landed in San Francisco, got on the BART, all quicker than I got out of the AT&T store. And I'm not even fucking with you guys. And end of day, they couldn't reactivate my account. They couldn't tell me why they couldn't reactivate my account. They said they could reactivate it if I put down $1,000 deposit on the account. I'm like, $1,000 for what? I'm not buying any equipment from you guys. I'm paying for a service that I previously paid for on the account that you guys created, and then you guys canceled it. What the hell do you want $1,000 deposit for? Well, that's just how we have to do it. No, it's not, because you didn't do it before that way, you assholes. Oh my God. So, I mean, all that time in the AT&T store, going around in circles with, different like managers and different, it wasn't me. I wasn't being a whole Karen. They understood what I was asking. They understood the benefit of having business accounts as opposed to personal accounts. So I didn't really have to do a lot of heavy lifting. They did all that. They kept escalating and escalating and escalating. And then the day I walked out there without it. I'm like, that's it. And I'm waste of time. And I think I'm gonna pull all my personal numbers off of AT&T and just go somewhere else, go to Verizon or something, because it was infuriating. It was absolutely infuriating. And the fact that they couldn't explain to me why we had gotten in that position, I'm like, I'm trying to do business with you. You guys can't figure this out? What the hell's wrong with you? Oh man, I am so mad at AT&T right now. So mad.
Wow. it makes no sense. It just makes no sense.
Yeah. There's no way I thought I was going to walk out of that store without the hotspot being activated. And sure enough, that's what the hell happened. I mean,
the crappy part is that is an AT&T device. You can't go somewhere else with that device, right?
No. I think it was good across a few networks. I have to pull it up and see what networks it was good on. But I don't think that was AT&T.
It's AT&T's signal, but there are multiple networks. This is one of the craziest things to me, is that there was this big move to break up the cell phone industry because it had gotten too big. So they passed this law that you could buy signal from a provider. And so that's how we got things like Ting and Mint Mobile and stuff like that, where they don't build their own network, they just buy network time off of these other providers. But now Mint Mobile is being bought by T-Mobile. It's like, how can you let that happen? How can you let T-Mobile buy the thing that exists to restrict its size?
Well, T-Mobile is one of the smaller players anyways, aren't they?
No, T-Mobile is the big three. It's Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T. Those are the only networks that exist.
Mm.
Everything else is buying networks from those three. Cricket, Boost, all those networks, they're just riding on someone else's network.
Yeah.
It's bizarre to me that you're allowed to buy your competition this way. I don't... American markets make no sense to me.
Especially when all those rules are in place to prevent that, and it still happens.
Yeah.
Eric, I'm assuming this question is for you. Is that Totoro on your hat?
No, that's a buddy butt.
That's a bunny ass, baby. Little Peter Cottontail action going on there.
I'm sure there's a reason for that.
It's going to be Easter.
You are a dumbass.
I am dumb. Well, why is it a bunny butt?
Because it's funny. Because bunny butts are funny. Come on. Catch up.
Thank you, Tom.
I got it. I immediately got it.
Oh, good for you. You must celebrate Easter.
This is coming from the guy who pours green dye in his toilet on St. Patrick's Day, so his kids think the leprechaun came, but he doesn't know about the bunny.
Next year, you gotta get some green silly string so the leprechaun pooped in your toilet.
What's wrong with you?
It make no sense.
So baseball.
Baseball.
It's been an interesting baseball week. I'm not a huge fan of baseball, but it shows up on my Reddit feed whenever something funny happens, like umpire throwing a guy out for missing a catch. Did you see that one?
Missing the catcher when he went to reach back for the ball and he pulled his glove away.
He pulled his glove away, but it was absent-minded. It was obviously not on purpose.
No, yeah, everybody knows that. Yeah,
but the ref just threw him out.
Umpire. But yes.
The umpire just tossed him for that.
Well,
I thought that was hilarious.
But there was a lot more that went into it than just him doing that.
I did not see anything more than that.
So there was something between the pitcher and the umpire prior to it, where the pitcher kept asking for new balls because he was already pissed off at the umpire. And just before that had happened, when the pitcher asked for a new ball, the catcher went to get the ball, but the umpire threw it to the pitcher directly instead of giving it to the catcher, which is what they normally do. So then all of a sudden, he asked for another new ball again because the pitcher's pissed off at the umpire. So the catcher went to grab it, and he's like, oh, wait, the umpire just got to throw it direct. Pulled his glove down.
It's the whole thing's
It
weird.
is. It's stupid, but it's funny.
And then this week, a batter was adjusting his gloves and got too close to the 8-second mark, the new 8-second rule.
Manny Machado, the San Diego Padre. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was called out because it was an automatic strike for going overtime in the box.
Right. He was given a strike, which happened to be his third strike. Made him out.
Yeah. So he said something in response to that, and the umpire just immediately threw him out. That was fun. I'm enjoying all these new rules getting put in place and everyone being very upset about it.
Then you will like my rule laughability issue that I had. In my game on Saturday, we're playing, and again, it's Little League. I don't care about wins and wins or losses. It's get out there, have fun. I had a kid.
John could even bring himself to say it. Wins and don't bother me. They don't bother. I can.
Second places, whatever that is.
The bad part is the kids don't get that to hit that often because it's so many walks, right? The kids pitch wildly. They're not throwing a whole lot of strikes.
Rough.
I get a kid in there, hits a pop fly, but it's an infield pop fly. He gets to first base just fine, and they call him on an infield fly rule. First of all, I don't know why they called him out. All of a sudden, they're calling him out, and he's walking back in, and he's upset. And I'm like, what's going on? And somebody said it, and I'm leaning against the fence. I already have an issue with some guy on the outside of the fence. Like, he comes over. I've stood in the same place all season. Like that's where I stand when my team's batting, so I can be encouraging, whatever. And from behind the fence, he comes over. He's like, "Coach, you got to be over there. You got to be over by the dugout." I'm like, "Okay, I have no clue who this is telling me what I'm supposed to be doing, but okay." I move over. Then the infield fly rule happens.
Never do what someone else tells you to do when you're the coach.
Well, then this guy overhears me say, infield fly rule. I didn't know that was a thing in Little League. And he goes, yeah, it's a thing. And I'm like, I look back at him. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, it's a thing. I'm like, okay, you don't have to laugh at me. It's my first time coaching. Like, I was so pissed off. Like, I don't know who you are, and you're doing all this. And I asked,
But you're not a vengeful person though. Like if someone did that to me, I'll be like, I would start running every play past him. If a strike gets called, I'd go to the guy. Hey, is that how that works? Is that a strike or is that a ball? How does?
Hey, Tom.
Okay, so
Tom.
that guy touched home plate. Does that mean
Tom.
I get a point or they get a
Tom.
point?
Tom, explain the infield fly rule to us.
No.
What pisses me off is the whole thing is it's not meant to be a benefit to the defense. It's supposed to protect offense. It's supposed to protect the runners. And the whole thing is if you hit an infield fly that could be caught reasonably, then you call the runner out so that the other runners can advance without worrying about getting hurt. The problem is this is Little League. What's reasonable for them to catch? They don't catch half the balls anyway, right?
I like your thinking there, John. I am surprised it's there, but I assume you had people in first and second.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, you have to have players on at least first, second, and third.
Yeah.
And you have to have less than 2 outs.
Right. Yep. That's all correct.
Yeah. Anyway, that was my weekend, my baseball weekend. Thought it was funny.
Oh,
you know what we should do?
Sponsor?
We should pay some bills.
Just pay some bills.
We should.
I don't know how we're doing. Have we figured out how we're doing Storm yet?
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Let's start with Honey Badger. How about that?
Honey Badger.
I like that.
Yeah. If you're like most devs, too much of your time gets sucked up with downtime issues, troubleshooting, and error tracking. How can you spend more time shipping code and less time putting out fires? Honey Badger is how. It's a suite of monitoring tools specifically for devs. It's the only system that combines error monitoring, uptime monitoring, and cron and heartbeat monitoring into a clean, fast interface. Sure, you can get familiar with any interface, but why waste your time learning some Franken-system interface that looks like an airline cockpit when what you need is clarity and speed? You won't know if Honey Badger will really save you time and trouble until you see how it works in your own tool chain. With 2 lines of code in 5 minutes, you can see for yourself. Honey Badger automatically hooks into popular web frameworks, job systems, authentication libraries, and front-end JavaScript. Imagine fixing errors before your users can even report them. 5 minutes of your time with the free trial is all it takes to see if it will work for you. It just might be the best 5 minutes you've spent in a while. Check out honeybadger.io. Honeybadger.io is awesome, and we're actually expanding our use of it again.
We are expanding our use. Yeah, I'm actually very excited about it. But yes, we're bringing another one of our clients, one of our mini clients, bringing another one on to the Honey Badger.
So many clients, and they're wonderful. They're great clients.
The best
They're
clients.
the best clients.
I'm not a very good impressionist.
Perfect clients.
Oh, yeah. So
have
what
you
else?
guys ever had something you would describe as a perfect phone call?
No.
Not with AT&T. I'm still very upset. I apologize.
It's something that keeps being said, and I don't know what it means. Like I could understand tech support having a perfect phone call. Like if you're working tech support, and you say like the first thing you say fixes their problems, that's a perfect phone call.
But what are you talking about? Did something come up?
Yeah, the president keeps talking about his perfect phone calls.
The
former president.
Yeah.
Soon to be inmate.
Well, I got a question, John. What is this? Like, look at my video. My video, you and Tom are like end to end, and my video has little black lines.
Mm-hmm. What are you talking about, little black lines?
You don't see it on your side?
Oh yeah. It's a setting on your camera. We'll look at it.
Oh, that's why I brought it up.
Yeah, I ran into that before.
Okay. Cool.
We can fix it.
All right. Excellent.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but we will.
Just hit buttons. I'm sure it can't go wrong.
Yeah, I mean that's what happens all the time. I take the camera off the tripod to go to the meetup or something, and I end up hitting something wrong, and all of a sudden my camera's bad for 2 days because I don't know what I'm doing. It's like I need a crash course, please, on all of the settings and what I could possibly be doing wrong. What's going on with the release managers? Is it 8.3 that's being voted for or has been voted for?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's another Eric,
done?
is it not?
Is it done?
I believe it was close, pretty much done.
I was trying to find it before the show, and I can't find where the voting is or what the status is.
Oh, I wish you. Yeah,
Everything is about the. Oh wait, maybe it's the wiki to do.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, yep, that's it. Yeah.
Well, it'll be much easier to find soon because PHP internals discussions are moving to Reddit.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna have to link to something. You're gonna have to cite your sources on this one.
Yeah. So there was an RFC about extendable enums.
Are you talking? Wait. There were only 3 candidates this time. Wait, what?
Did you not see? Did you not see that chat with Sarah?
I saw. I didn't read all of it. I saw it come up, and
we were talking about how Eric defeated all the odds and managed to lose because 2 out of the 3 people got selected.
How?
I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to be a jerk. I mean, obviously, I know Eric Mann from the community. I don't know the other 2, do I? No.
Yeah, I don't think they I reckon.
I'm sorry, Calvin and Jacob. I don't know you yet. I hope to know you. Come to PHP Tech so I can meet you.
If my tickets. We'll stop making fun of you. Oh, speaking of that, I got notification, I guess, that somebody on this show bought a ticket to PHP Tech.
Well, no, he didn't buy a ticket. Somebody bought a ticket and put his name on it.
Oh, that's true.
I'm excited that you're going to be out there, Tom.
I am too. I'm very excited. I'm glad you taught
Eric
how to read emails.
No, I still don't. I still have not seen your name. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It's always 2 emails that come in. One's the person who purchases the ticket, and then the second email is, oh, so and so registered for the event. So one person can buy 10 tickets, and then they say, hey, ticket 1 goes to this person. Oh, so you're saying
Tom's name was on the registration.
Right.
Okay. I kept looking at the purchase. You're like, his name is on there. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not his name. I kept looking at that one. So you're gonna be there. Tom, have you gotten your hotel room yet?
I have. Okay.
That is a real concern of mine. Of anybody. I feel like 90% of the tickets that are going to be bought have been bought. We might get a couple trickling in as the days get closer. But my big concern is anybody who is thinking about coming and buying their ticket like last minute, you might not be staying in the hotel. The hotel is filling up. They told us, they're like, hey, we can't extend your block anymore. We're almost at 2 capacity. I'm like, well, crap. You know, I didn't mean for our conference to bring in that much business for you, but that's great it did. I'm sure that's what caused it.
Yeah.
Of course.
Not the Taylor Swift who's going to be in town or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so the listeners know how stressed out John and Eric are. It was about 3 seconds from the point where I purchased my ticket to I was congratulated on getting my ticket.
Was it really that quick?
It was very fast.
I just happened to be checking my email and I saw it come in. I was like, oh, nice. We got another ticket sale and not thinking much of it. And then saw the next email come in. I'm like, Oh, look, it was Tom.
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention it until the podcast, but you picked it immediately.
Yeah, well, I have a little if this then that hook that every time it happens, a bunch of confetti shoots out of a cannon here in the office. So, yeah, exciting.
So there's 200 pieces of confetti on the floor.
Tom, we cut you off. You were talking about you're making up a lie about how PHP internals conversations moving to Reddit, and I still don't believe you.
Yeah, so there was a conversation about extending enums, and in that conversation, someone was talking about all these mailing list terminologies that they used from the 80s, and the guy who posted the RFC said, honestly, I've never used a mailing list before. It's like 70s technology. I don't understand how to do it.
So he wants to move to Reddit, which is like a 90s technology?
Well, so there was a conversation. Exactly. There was a conversation around what to use, and there was GitHub discussions or Reddit. And it seems like the fact that in Reddit you can sort of infinite depth thread conversations, which is what they want to go for.
I think you got taken for an April Fool's Day joke, Tom.
Well, that's dumb. I embraced this. I was like, this is a good change.
I'm like looking at it, I'm like, it says right here, this was a joke report for April Fool's Day. Why does he keep going on about it? And then I realized, oh no, he believes us.
I hate April Fool's Day. Really
that
do.
was great.
All right,
they're gonna love the fact that they
cut
got
that part out of the podcast.
I had my baseball game on April Fool's Day, so I created a whole lineup for the coaches to be out there, and all the kids were like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is just practice for you guys. The coaches are playing today." Really? I'm like, yeah.
So you think maybe that infield fly rule was just a prank that you fell hard for?
That's a good point. No, unfortunately.
I could understand that. As somebody who's recently fallen for an April Fool's prank.
That was a very good one. That was a very good April Fool. And I hadn't heard about it, so that's why I had asked you to cite a source. I was queuing up all the arguments on why this was a bad idea. And then I'm like reading it. I'm like, well, this is awkward.
One, it's Reddit. Nobody goes to Reddit anymore.
Yeah, I've started going back. My buddy Matt got me hooked back on what's it called? Dev community, DEV community. What's it? Dev.to. I was all about that. It's again one of these like not microblog, but like you can post blog posts and they all kind of like Medium, but it's free and it's really developer focused. And I was all about it for a while. There was just like every day there were just new PHP and Laravel stories. I even have it as one of the places I go check when we do news and noteworthy for PHP Architect. But it had died off, and I stopped checking. And my buddy Matt said, "Hey, no, you should go back. There's good stuff there." So I've been popping back on every now and then if anybody's curious.
Eric, your Spanish-speaking kid brought up a good topic in Discord. Again, that's discord.phpugly.com if you want to join us. They talked to their teacher's assistant, their TA, and told them that they were using VS Code, and the TA was like, "You should be using Eclipse." And when asked why, they said because it was better for Java.
Right. So they are really starting to appreciate the hatred for Java. I get messages every now and then. I hate Java.
Name. That's a single class name.
You're a developer now.
They _, R _ starting to _ you got to make everything very long.
And again, I want to stress they are not a computer science major. this is like a extra class that they're taking to fulfill some requirements or whatever. I'm surprised that they're doing this, and I mean I'm happy for them. I hope they stick with it. It would be nice to have another developer in the family, but yeah, they're doing Java. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's VS Code plugins for Java. I don't know. I don't know Java. I don't do Java, so I don't really know the efficiency of any of it. But I do know Eclipse, written in Java, was initially made for Java. So yeah, that makes sense. That tracks.
Here's my most recent experience with Java. I got a managed switch with a web interface, and the web interface is all done in Java. So guess what I can't do?
What?
Manage my switch.
Why?
It turns out all the browsers that supported Java no longer do.
No, that can't be right.
Browsers don't support Java though, do they? They support JavaScript, but not Java.
Well, no, they support
Java,
the Java server, like the IBM WebSphere. WebSphere, that's what it's called, right? WebSphere. Like they're a
Java
bunch.
applet in a browser window. Can't do it.
Oh, is that what you're talking about? Java applets?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a very different story.
Yeah, those have been gone for a long time, haven't they?
Yes, apparently. The only way I'm able to manage my Switch is I downloaded an LTS version of Firefox. I believe it's 5.0, something close to that. And that still kind of supports the Java stuff. But you have to go in and like whitelist the domain that you're viewing to even get it to load the applet. Very, very stupid.
Comp sci minor, Eric. You should know your kids better.
I don't know why you would be forced to use Eclipse, other than Eric's argument, which is that IDEs are a crutch and they want you to learn the hard way. But
No,
also,
IDEs are not a crutch. PHPStorm, IntelliJ would be an awesome option.
Yeah, IntelliJ IDEA or VS Code, perfectly fine.
Yeah, I don't know Java. I told him at the beginning of the semester, I'm like, I'm not going to be able to help you. I don't know Java.
I wrote a Java application for an Android app, and I stumbled my way through it to make it work. Got it working. And I did not use Eclipse.
It's still better than Objective-C.
What did you use, Shawn?
Whatever the Android
Studio.
Oh,
yeah, Android Studio.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I'm always confused. Is Android Studio part of JetBrains that
it's not JetBrains
license or huh?
No, it's owned by Google.
Yeah, it's Google.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It looks very much like JetBrains. So I mean, I know they're all based off Eclipse, or at least I think they're all based off Eclipse, but yeah, they look very similar.
Yeah, I know you need like a terabyte to run it or something. Like a terabyte of space. It's some huge beastly thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. It worked. But with that segue into IDs, let's talk about our second sponsor. PHPStorm.
Our second sponsor.
Yeah.
I activated my license.
Good job.
I am a PHPStorm user now. A big thing that motivated me was the latest update, the 2023.1 update. Have you guys upgraded to this yet?
I don't know. Mine upgrades automatically, so I'm not sure.
Now you have me questioning what version I'm on.
Because you can go to Toolbox and just look. Open up your Toolbox. I think it tells you right there in Toolbox.
Yeah.
If you're not aware, Toolbox is a great little mini program for people of the JetBrains ecosystem. Yeah, I'm on 2023.1. It does all the JetBrains products you have are right there, but it also keep track of all your projects that you've recently worked on, so you can just open them from there as well. Mm-hmm. Nice. I'm getting more and more familiar with PHPStorm. Matter of fact, it was funny. I told you John and I pair programmed this week, and he said, I forget what you said exactly. It's something like, I don't know. I don't know how you do that in Vim or something. I'm like, well, this is Storm, dude. Just tell me in Storm.
It's so customizable. You can do so much with PHPStorm. Actually, any of the JetBrains IDEs. Where I really thought he was in just his Vim session because he's got his relative line numbers, and he was in a very minimalized view, which is one of the good things. You can really focus on what you're trying to do.
There's a lot more of that now, actually, in 2023.1. There's a new UI that's in beta.
That was in 2022.3 as well.
There's a compact mode.
I enabled that this week. Yep.
The current file that you're editing is now listed when the panes are hidden, so you can see what file you're working on, even if your tabs are hidden. There's
I don't use
a
tabs.
new UI for the little run widget.
You don't use tabs, or you use tabs. You just don't know you're using it. You have them hidden.
Well, yeah, they're buffers in my world.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
I don't have tabs going across the top of my my IDE.
Either do I. But I often have so many panes open. I do side by side a lot because I have the wide monitor.
You got that big ass monitor.
And then I often split. Sometimes I have 3 or 4 side by side, and then within those I split them horizontally a lot. Anyway, I do lots of splitting.
I need to
Well,
thanks to their Vim bindings.
Vim bindings. They are some of the best.
The thing that really tickled me today was that you can now interact directly with 3v4l.org. So this is a tool that lets you run whatever text is currently on your screen in any number of versions of PHP. So it will, you hit, you create a scratch file, paste some PHP code into it, and hit run, and it gives you the output for every single one of the versions that it supports.
So I got something I want to show you guys, and I don't want to knock on PHPStorm, obviously. So maybe this is something simple, but this is an issue I'm having. This recently started happening, so maybe it is something very simple that you guys can help me with. Matter of fact, let me get that off the screen. Okay. So like we talked about the relative lines here. Look how big this gutter is now. And it only gets bigger if I maximize it. Like if I maximize this window,
I don't even see your relative lines.
So the relative lines are right here. Yeah, you can't really.
Oh, that's off the screen.
Yeah, there they go.
Oh, there you go.
So the relative lines are right here, and this is where the code. And this is just blank. Like there's nothing here. This is all just blank. And it just started. Like it just started with one of the recent releases. Because I used to have a little transparent PHP architect background on mine, and I realized I'm like, oh shoot, it disappeared, and I realized, it upgraded and just didn't carry over, which happens from time to time. But yeah, I can't figure out what's causing this. If anybody in Discord or anybody watching or listening to the show has an idea of what's causing this huge gutter right here. I call it a gutter. I don't know if this is all gutter. I don't know if it's meant to do something, but
it looks like it's all part of the gutter.
Yeah.
Like, can you right click closer to the mail from to see the gutter options? Like if you're there and hit right click, do you get to annotate?
No. The annotate is grayed out.
Oh, I don't. We can't see that pop up, so it's weird.
Oh, sorry. That's a
good.
.env file. Let me open up. Let me just open up.
Well, that's all I meant was you get that part. You get the gutter menu there, so it is all gutter. Is what I was getting at.
Yeah. Annotate with get blame. Yeah, that's all here.
That's all I was getting looking for.
Yeah, I don't know what's causing that. It's like I said, it only gets bigger when I maximize. It's like weird when I maximize it. Like half my screen is like a gutter. It's weird.
Well,
Their
Another
new UI
interesting
is still in
improvement.
beta, so
Yeah.
could be that.
Another interesting improvement is shared indexes for popular PHP packages. So if you use any modern IDE, you'll note that indexing a big project is a pain in the ass. When you open up your project, it indexes the whole thing, and there's a bunch of stuff you can't do while it's indexing.
That's the whole how you do searching and finding classes and variables and
Yep.
everything.
So now you can include an index with your library, and it will be used instead of building an index on the client side.
So you're
I need
saying
to interrupt real quick. Anybody in Discord, that is not an official survey from the PHPUgly staff. You're being scammed. Go ahead. I mean, we've kind of given PHPStorm their
yeah.
Well, no, but I'm still going over the interesting. So there's a bunch of fixes for behaviors during indexing. So stuff that you normally couldn't do while it was building indexes, it can now do.
So are you now supposed to include that in your repo?
No, I believe that IntelliJ or JetBrains is handling this all on their own.
Really?
I think they're building their own library of indexes for packages.
Oh, interesting. So it's funny that going back to your Discord comment, it's funny that they're using JotForm. That is something new to me, and we're now using that for a huge form on a project, and it's interesting.
I am not familiar with JotForm.
So it's like anything else. You can build a simple form to host, and all of a sudden we needed this huge, like 5-page questionnaire, and it's just so much data. Instead of trying to build it within HTML, it was, hey, why don't we use JotForm? And then JotForm has all these integrations. So you build out the form. It's got a lot of conditionals. Like when I say yes to this, I have to upload a file, or it's got signatures. So if you need them to sign the form that they're filling out, they can do that. I've already said uploading files. But the big thing was they have so many integrations. So when you submit the form, it can integrate with all sorts of services, including Salesforce, but it can also send a webhook of all the data that was filled out. So you let somebody fill out the form and hit a webhook on your system. The problem is authentication. How do you know which user filled that out? Because it's a webhook, there's no authentication at that point. The way I did it, I'm now thinking, while it's semi-secure, it's using UUIDs instead of integers, so you can't really easily spoof another user. I guess I could include some sort of token. I can say, here's a user ID and here's some sort of encrypted signature to make sure that those match. I did not go that far. Anyway, just something to think about if you're going to use that and you get that data back. Make sure you're considering authentication or authorization.
Interesting. All right.
I got to go one more feature for PHPStorm. This one's super cool. Debugging now supports data flow analysis.
Huh?
So when you execute a method or a function, the debugger runs through your ifs, elses, all those statements, and figures out what's going to be executed and what's not. So it knows the inputs that it's been given and says, yeah, you're never going to reach this line of code because this input doesn't match what it's checking for.
I mean,
so it tells
for
you
that
for
that specific execution.
Yeah, for that specific execution.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I think that would be actually a little annoying if it just said, "Hey, you're not going to hit this conditional, just so you know." I'm like,
What tells you why?
So, are you moving back to PHP Storm?
I am moving back to PHP Storm. It's going to take some time because I got to relearn my keyboard commands.
If you knew your Vim bindings, it wouldn't take any time at all. You just enable your Vim bindings, and you're off and running.
Yep.
Just like that.
Then other parts of my life would have fallen apart. So who knows?
Well, I don't think so. All right, let's do this real fast. Didn't mean to do that. That was a mistake. Let's thank our Patreon supporters.
Thank you, patrons.
Thank you, Patreon supporters.
Hey, you changed it up, didn't you? I like it.
I did. Actually,
except now you got to turn off our cameras now.
There we go. There we go. So I got something weird I mean, everybody does it. Well, not everybody. A lot of software. That has nothing to do with our Patreon supporters. These are our Patreon supporters. We appreciate all you. Show's a little better because of you. Thank you, Buttery. You've been with us for forever. I hope to meet you one day, Buttery. You're a good person. A lot of software where you have a license, PHPStorm does this, for example. When you fire it up, it checks back home to make sure your license is valid before it lets you use the software. So PHPStorm is not open source, it's not free, although there's a lot of ways to get it for free, legal ways to get it for free. They're very charitable with user groups and giving away free licenses. So if you really want a PHPStorm license, you know, if you participate in the community, chances are you'll find somewhere to get one. But I say all that to say, software calling home to make sure licenses are valid is very normal. And I just basically don't think about it, right? Because it's like, I don't think about it. Because if you think about it too much, it's like, all right, they know every time I'm using this software, like how much information do they know? How much is reporting back? But it's like one of these like unspoken rules. You don't tell me you're doing it, and I won't think about the fact that you're doing it, sort of thing. That all got shattered this week when I got an email from Tinkerwell. So Tinkerwell is this Laravel specific application that allows you to interact with your. It's basically like the
small correction, not Laravel specific.
That's true. You're right. PHP. Yeah.
It's big in the Laravel world, but it is just PHP in general.
It is. Well, and the name Tinker comes from the artisan command Tinker. So a long time ago, I had bought a lifetime license for it because I'm like, hey, this person done a pretty good job. I don't use it. Even then, I didn't use it very frequently, but it was nice to have. And they went through the hassle of having a Linux version of it. So I'm like, okay, let me show them some love. They did this work. And I'll fire it up every now and then, but I don't use it often. I get an email from Tinkerwell. It says, hey, we've noticed you haven't used our application in a while. You should think about using it. I'm like, what? What? Don't let me know that you're paying attention to that. Don't tell me that. It was weird. It's very weird. So Tinkerwell, don't do that. That freaks me out, man.
It's not that hard to pay attention to. Hey, you haven't logged in.
You don't log in. It's just a license check.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I assume that's what they did. They just say, hey, any accounts that haven't checked their licenses in the last 30 days, send them a little email. I don't know if there's some ulterior motive, like they're trying to get all the licenses to check in again or something. But yeah, it was weird, man. It was a weird email to get. It's like VS Code where they sent me an email saying, hey, you haven't started VS Code in over a year. What's up?
I did have that recently with JetBrains where you get one license, and I got my Mack back up and running to do some things for the magazine, and I use PHPStorm even for the magazine editing. So I fire up PHPStorm over there. It's like, you're using that on another computer. You need to stop. Either,
Oh, really?
yeah, you can't have it running on two machines at the same time.
I didn't. So are you saying?
I've seen worse though. I mean, I've seen companies that sell like a lifetime license, but then like later on change their terms of service that it's a lifetime license to that version.
That version. Yeah, I've
like-
had that happen to me before. I'm like, what is this bullshit?
That is
Navicat.
scum of the earth behavior.
I had that happen with Navicat. I bought a lifetime license. It's like, oh yeah, this is a lifetime license for version 7 or whatever version it was. I'm like, what? No, that's not how these work. But John, back to what you were saying. Are you saying, or do you know, if I have PHPStorm open on my desktop and then I go remote and I try to open up PHPStorm, it'll say, hey, PHPStorm is open somewhere else. You can't.
No, it'll let you do it. So it'll work on that machine. It'll block your desktop at home.
Oh, okay. So it's like a Spotify thing. It's like, hey, you're
Right.
playing music on a different device.
Right. No, it makes whatever you open most recent, that's now your official version that
Gotcha.
you're using. And then the other one is blocked until it says, no, deactivate. So all it does is make you choose one or the other. So you go back to your desktop and you're like, no, deactivate the laptop. That'll stop working and now you can use it on your laptop. You just can't. It's preventing someone buying it for an office and having 30 people sit there and use it at the same time.
That doesn't bother me. It's other companies that screw around with licenses drives me nuts.
Yeah.
All your kids are fighting in Discord.
Yeah. Have you not
Get those things tied,
have you not met
cauterized?
have you not met 20-year-old kids?
25.
25. Oh, God, they just fight nonstop.
Yeah. I don't do about them.
Too much.
All right.
All right.
What else you got to talk? Do we even talk about Trello? Does anybody have any Trello cards?
Yeah, I got a bunch. The PHPStorm features was a Trello card.
That's
You
awesome.
gotta move them over as we're talking about them.
Yeah, no
All right.
kidding.
A big one came up. The PER coding style 2.0 has been released. If you don't remember what this is a living document standard for PHP. So because the coding standard stuff changes so frequently, it's not Fig. What is the group that releases this?
PSR or?
Oh, it is Fig. It's PHP:fig.
Yeah, it's Fig does kind of manages it, but yeah, they release PSR is what they were releasing.
Yeah, so PSRs will still exist as like long-term or permanent guidelines, but PERs are mutable. So it's released on GitHub as a contributable document. You can pull it or fork it and make your changes to it and suggest them. And from now on, we won't have to get Fig. It was Fig 2, and then it was, or PSR 2, and then it was PSR 12. Or it was PSR 1 and 2 and 12. So
instead of having a PSR per coding style change, it's
a versioned coding style guide now.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I don't think a whole lot has changed in this version, but I do like that you'll be able to go in and look at the history of all the changes and contributions.
Do you guys? I'm just asking this because it's here. Do you guys ever group your use statements?
No.
I do.
I haven't yet.
I enjoy it, and then I ran because I'm a Laravel. Most of my apps are Laravel apps. I ran Pint, and Pint is supposed to. It basically is a PHP CS fixer for Laravel, so it kind of enforces the Laravel standards to coding, and it broke all my groupings out. I'm like,
Ugh.
but I like the groupings. So I don't know if I'm even running Paint anymore, but yeah, I like this.
PHP CBF does the same thing, doesn't it? Based on your PHP CS rules.
I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I use. PHP CBF takes your PHP CS rules and then will automatically fix what it can.
You're saying PHP CBF?
Yep.
What the hell is that? CBF.
It's something he just made up. It's like
I
like
just
Rickroll
set a
or
bunch of letters
something.
together and you typed them in, dumbass.
PHP Code Beautifier? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
What is this?
If I ran that thing, it would come back with no results.
I don't recommend running it across your entire system, but especially on a legacy app, because then your PR becomes bloated. But maybe run just that on a single file and see what it changes.
So what's the difference between this and CS Fixer? Or do you know?
PHP CS just tells you things are broken. This tries to fix them for you.
No, Fixer fixes things.
PHP
But okay.
I'm not talking about Fixer. I said PHP CS. All it does is
Okay.
tell you that the issue is there. It's your code sniffer. And then this is an actual code changer.
Correct. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think I just need to figure out the rules to get it to ignore certain things. I just didn't care enough. So
Yeah.
Well, another thank you goes out to our Discord. A Woods has decided to do the Googling for you and given you a solution to your extra-sized gutters.
Oh. That's not it, A-Woods. I do appreciate you. Oh, set number width equal 4. I don't know what that is. Yeah, you're right. So the icons is unchecked. Because I checked it. I'm like, well, what's this? I checked it, and it looks like that's what it would be. It looks like it would be those icons. It's making room for those icons, but I've never had that checked. I'll have to try the set command and see if that does it for me. I've closed my PHPStorm at this point, but I'll open it back up and report back. All right.
Sounds
Cool. All right, here. That's how fast it opens now. I will say PHPStorm has gotten a lot faster from early days. So what did you say? What did you say?
Set number width equals 4.
Num width. Okay.
Number width. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're looking for title suggestions, people in Discord. I saw a few come through.
Equals 4.
Little bang title and some sort of title suggestion for the show, and then one of Eric's favorite kids will create a cool thumbnail.
No, that doesn't do it, A-Woods. I appreciate you. I appreciate the suggestion. It feels like that would have worked, but no. The Vim setting didn't work.
Sorry.
I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm sure something's checked somewhere. If you guys aren't seeing, if you guys aren't having the problem, it's just me. I'm sure something is checked somewhere.
Well, today I learned I need to upgrade to 2023.1. I'm still in 2022.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like we're here. Let's get the toast can back up here. I feel like we're at a.
Toast is still sleeping.
Where's he at? Boom. There she is. The toast cam. Sleeping by the arcade game.
I need a circadian cam. One of my cats is always here by my desk now.
Yeah.
I have a cat tree right at arm's reach, so I've always got someone to debug with. My next cat will be named Rubber Ducky.
Rubber Ducky.
Mm-hmm.
No, we got one named Bug. We got a cat named Bug. So it's appropriate. All right. I feel like we need to wrap things up. You guys got anything else you want to touch on?
what we did not talk about.
Go ahead.
Whoops.
Yes.
I always do the wrong one.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I mean, it's the same thing. You get $100 off tech just for listening to our show. What are we at? 40 days away?
We're so close, man. We're so close. You might have to sleep under a bridge, but we'd be happy to have you at
39 days to go to PHP
Wait
Tech.
a second. That discount is better than the discount you gave me specifically.
He's literally had this discount up for like the last
3
month.
weeks.
Yeah, but I just looked it up. I just looked it up again today. I can't believe you.
Well, I got a real spoiler for you. You should have been a supporter on Patreon. Oh, pays to be friends of the show.
I mean, to be fair, half of the supporters on Patreon are going for free as team members of PHP Architect,
This is true.
and
Yes.
half of them are going for free as family members. Is your family going to be out there with us? Either of you?
My current wife, as long as I'm not shot dead tonight, will be attending. We'll be working it. Looking forward to.
Oh, okay. So now we have
working it.
motive.
Yes, motive. Oh, I didn't even share with you.
Mine will not be there. My kids are still in school then.
John, you didn't. John is such a pain in the ass to talk to in Slack. Like, I'll talk to him for like 2 days, then he'll respond on one thing. It's like,
What are you talking about now?
I sent you the cool picture of my new toy.
I said awesome.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
I
to
got-
be
I
fair,
got-
I s- oh,
I got a
excuse
new
me, I
toy
said
every
nice.
week.
I said nice.
I got my wife has gotten into the crickets and making. We talked about last week the mugs, doing the mugs, and she's getting better at it. What I really like about it is she's trying all these different things. Some work, some don't
Okay,
work.
hold on. Cricket. You're saying crickets like people understand. You mean
I don't know how
paper
to
cutter.
explain it.
It's a paper cutting
Yeah,
templating
that's all it
device.
does is
Yes,
cut.
It cuts
Uh,
things.
but-
Not crickets as in the things lizards eat.
But
She's not trying new wild
she
things
also
with
has
crickets.
this mug maker, like mug like label. So she cuts things out on Cricut, and she puts it on a mug. You tape it on the mug, and it infuses into the mug. So it's like it's not like a sticker on
acid.
top of the mug. It's like part of the mug. It's very impressive. And she's gotten more and more into this, and she's been doing some experimenting, which is really cool because she tries things and things. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. This is her 3D printer, right? I mean, I had gotten into 3D printing and the etching, and that kind of got her kind of creative juices flowing. You know, she got this, and then together we had come up with this idea. I always have these like T-shirt ideas that I want. John's been privy to many of my designs. I'm like, hey, John, what about this one? And
No.
but
No.
it's really hard.
not that one.
Like making like you have to get a minimum quantity if you're like, you know what I mean. It's just not worth it. So the wife and I were talking about some ideas, and I broke down and I got a T-shirt press. So it's like it's a whole press that makes T-shirts and hats. So I'm very excited. We haven't actually done. I even bought a Epson printer that we are going to use to make the whatever the
Transfers.
things that transfers. Yeah. So yeah, kind of excited. I don't know if the Epson printer thing is going to work. It was one of these. Hey, here's a hack if you do this, because they have printers that are specific for that. And you know, there were like articles online that said, "Oh no, you can just get a regular printer. The one everybody recommends is this Epson printer because you can fill it with the right ink." But then they say once you do it, it's always that. Like you can never use it as a regular printer again. but you fill it with this special ink, and it saves you it costs about half as much as the specialized printer. So I haven't gotten it all hooked up to verify that works. But yeah, I'm excited because finally some of my creations will come to life. And I have one that I'm very, very excited to do.
When was the last time you touched the 3D printer that you stole from John?
It's been a while. It's not. It really isn't because I haven't wanted to, because I just started getting functional things. Matter of fact, I have a little list of things I need to start printing. John had mentioned it. I swapped it back over to laser etching, and there were a couple things I wanted to get laser etched, and then I'm like, oh no, I want to print some stuff, and I just haven't swapped it back. So
the 75 screws you have to take out to swap heads.
Yeah.
Did you see the guy who used the laser etcher to remove a tattoo?
No.
Oh my god! What?
Yeah.
I would
April
not recommend
Fools.
doing that.
No, for real.
No.
That's very
You can't.
interesting.
It would burn. They're not designed for that. It would
No,
burn
they're not
you.
designed for that.
I burned myself just swapping the head out.
So the trick is you have to put it, the focal length of it has to be just below the skin where the ink goes.
I wouldn't do it.
No, of course not.
Can I just drag this? Can I drag that in Discord? No, I can't. So anyways, I'm very happy for my t-shirt press. I'm excited. Maybe
Can't
I'll make
see
some
what comes out of it.
PHPUgly t-shirt press t-shirts.
Yeah, you can make some kind of funny shirts and explain them slowly to John. Well, because it's Valentine's Day coming up, but I'm already married, so it's my wife's butt.
I got my girlfriend flowers for Valentine's Day, and my wife was pissed. All right.
Funny when you have to explain things to me.
That's going to be it for episode 330. I'm Eric.
I'm John.
I'm Tom.
Keep it ugly.
Keep it ugly.
Keep it ugly. And I didn't queue up you guys have got to queue it up. Where is it at?
Oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah, I got it. I got you.
Somehow it's all my fault.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. And shout to John, you know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this,
Hey,
cause
I'm
the
still
people
alive.
love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly.
Sure,
It's called
nice.
ugly
Sure,
cause it's not
kill me on air.
professional. But I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah.
Woo.
So, John, are we announcing that Harry Mack's going to be at PHP Tech 2024?
Not yet. Maybe
Okay.
later. Yeah.
All right.
We got to
So
find out if we're doing a 2024 first.
Of course we are. What are you talking about? We've invested too much money. Oh,
For
what was I
the
gonna say?
tiny fraction of a penny we're making off of it.
It's all about the smiles on faces, John. All about
There
the
you go.
smiles and faces.
Yeah, the
Well, that's what I
stress
was-
that we're going through is worth it. Yeah.
I was going to tell you, I'm happy we're live reading our ads now, because I came to the realization last week that in Restream, if you download the individual audios, since we all are not muting now and I get like solid audio from everybody, it isn't capturing all this extra stuff like Harry Mack, and if I had played Honey Badger commercial, it's not capturing that, because it's only capturing our 3 individual streams.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I'm kind of happy. Happy we're reading them right now, because we'd be back to, all right, Mark, what time was it? How far in the show was that? So, all right.
So
Yes.
you guys buy stuff off Craigslist ever?
Is Craigslist
No.
still a thing?
Yeah.
Really?
I'll sell stuff on there every few years, but not buy anything.
Really?
It is incredibly funny, because like normally I use Craigslist, I just look for the specific thing I want to buy, like speakers or whatever. But I've started to just like browse it, and people are so delusional. It's amazing. Like this person selling a package of O-rings, of clear O-rings. It's
I mean, that
$18 for a random assortment of O-rings.
I'll tell you about that.
You see just the weirdest stuff.
O-rings can be useful.
My life was all about O-rings for a while.
A 65-inch TV for $1,300.
Come on, seriously.
A
What?
Prusa 3D printer for $650.
You're laughing like we're supposed to get it. Why are you laughing at me? It's my first time. I found out tonight at tonight's practice, like the kids were paying attention, and one of them was like, because I was saying like, I don't know all the rules. My whole speech tonight was around how we're not professionals. We're out here to have fun. Blah blah blah. I said even like I make mistakes, and I pointed out some of them, and then one of the kids pointed out how
pointed directly at his children.
how I told that guy that, why are you laughing at me? It's my first time coaching. Like, yeah, I shouldn't have said that to him. I overreacted.
You did. No, you didn't.
No, I know
Yeah.
I didn't, but in front of the kids, I did. That's what I'm gonna tell them.
Hey, if a kid ain't crying, you ain't doing it right. Let's see. Becoming Jet Brainiacs. I like that one. Taking the World by PHPStorm. I mean, we're really pushing hard on the sponsor in that one, but I'm okay with it.
I'm not
Playing
hating
in
that
the
one.
Gutter. Playing in the Gutter. Eaglewood's killing it tonight. Playing in the Gutter was a good one.
I liked mine.
The ugly murder mystery.
Yes.
Oh, there's your thumbnail. My thumbnail creator. My face, my head on Scarface's body shooting. No, let's not do that. Don't do that. That's not a good one. I had an idea for one. I forget what it was. God, I fucking hate AT&T right now. I'm so mad at AT&T.
To be clear, he wasn't. Well, I guess he was the head umpire or umpire in chief, the UIC.
I still say you should start trolling him every time you see him.
Yeah, totally.
Just whenever someone makes any basic play, just turn to him. Is that how that works?
You good with that?
That work? We okay?
I'm good with that.
We're good? All right.
Good. Are we going to get a
It's
read
making
from
me-
PHPStorm?
Hopefully, I asked for it today. Oh no,
Good
it's
day
just
to do
making
it.
me not want to do it again tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next season.
I've read this infield fly rule thing 3 times and still don't understand what it says.
It's very simple. If there's a man on first and second, and there's less than 2 outs, or 2 outs, 1 or 2 outs, less than
No,
no,
0
No,
and
less than
one.
less than 2 outs. Yeah, less than 2 outs. If there's a fly ball to the infield, to John's point, so the runners
But-
don't hurt themselves. Everybody just stays still.
Well, there's that in especially in later leagues, especially professionals, they can look up and then just miss the ball. They can either catch it or miss it depending on where the runners are at.
And do a
So they
double
missed-
play or a triple
They
play.
miss, yeah, they miss it on purpose to force a triple play. That's where it all came about. But that's people doing it on purpose. These kids aren't dropping the ball on purpose. They're either going to catch it or they're not.
But at no point does it say what the penalty is?
No, it does. It says the runner is out.
no
I mean, the
penalty.
batter is out. That's the only penalty. They call him out right away so that the runners can either advance or stay without.
Yeah, the runners are actually free to do what they want. They don't run because you can't advance because it's a fly ball to an infielder. So you have to tag up in baseball. It means you have to be on the bag until after the fielder catches the ball when it's in the air, and then you can advance. So if they want to, they can actually advance. But that's just bad idea all around.
Yep. I think it's a stupid rule for this level of little
For
league.
children. I was amazed to hear that the kids pitch.
Mm-hmm.
This is their first year.
Yeah?
First year kid pitch, yeah.
I didn't know when I started playing. I didn't even know what t-ball was because I started playing. I mean, I started playing later in life. I think I was 8 or 9 when I first started playing. So by that time, you're
Yeah.
past all that. But
My
somebody
kid
was
is 8.
telling me that. Yeah, somebody was telling me about t-ball. I remember seeing it the first time. I'm like, what's the purpose of this? You know, because I was young. And I get it now. Like, you get the kids understanding the rules and, you know, kind of how to field and stuff like that.
Wearing the stupid equipment.
Yeah. I don't think I
love
could
playing catcher because they get to wear the equipment.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right. Yeah.
Some either love it or hate it.
All right. Oh, dude, the Reddit thing was too funny. The Reddit thing was too funny.
the April Fools.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, any of us could have fallen for that one, for sure. Yeah.
I guess. I still think it's a good idea.
What was that? Who talked to me?
Oh, my little one can possibly play minor B next year.
What's a minor B?
So in our T-ball, it goes T-ball and then farm, which is where my 6-year-old's at right now, and that's machine pitch. And then they go from there to maps, which it's still machine pitch, but it's a little more, it's just that next level.
Mm-hmm.
And then minor B is where I'm at, which is kid pitch. But it turns out he should be league age 8 at that point, even though he's only 7 years old. And he can basically try out for minor B if he goes through the assessment piece. So he'll be excited about that, I think. Although he fucking crushed it on Saturday. Luckily,
you know how I feel about that kid.
Yeah,
I made it clear.
I mean, he's been so this season because of all the rain and the lack of practices and lack of games, he's been in this like, I don't want to go, I don't want to play anymore. And I'm like, what? You're that kid. And he got out on Saturday to play, and luckily the times worked out where my game was 2 hours before his, so I was able to finish my game up and then get over to his. And I was just planning on sitting in the bleachers and watching, and I got there right at the bottom of the first and saw my coach. We only had 6 kids show up, and I heard the coach talking with one of the other parents, and I realized they were short-handed. I'm like, "Hey, coach, you want me to go over and do third base?" He's like, "Sure, if you don't mind." So I ran over and did that, and then got to watch my kid like blast a double. Like he hit the ball out to outfield and got a double twice in the game.
Your kid is going to be a beast, man. If he sticks with it, he's going to be an absolute beast. I'm telling you. I have a talent for this stuff. I know what to. I see it. I know what to look for. Your kid's got it for sure. God damn it! I'm flying into Chicago on Friday and flying out on Saturday, and the Cubs are out of town that entire week. They're out from the 12th to the 21st. God
Well,
damn
to
it.
be fair, you're flying in on Saturday. You're doing the red eye.
That's true. I am doing the red eye, so I'll be there Saturday to Saturday.
Well,
Or Saturday
I will
to
be
Sunday.
there Monday.
When do I fly out? I forget.
You guys are gonna have to come pick me up.
There's no picking up. You could walk to the hotel, but there's a shuttle. They have a free shuttle. Let's jump in the shuttle.
I am not getting in a shuttle with a bunch of normal people.
We can't pick you up. What do you think
I don't
we're
have.
gonna pick you up in?
We're doing a shuttle too. We don't have a car.
Man. Yeah,
Tickets
we
paid
were
for,
just.
so you get there if you want to get there.
A Woods, the White Sox. I do believe they are in town, but they seem further away. I don't know. Every time I've been to Chicago, I've always gone to a Cubs game, but I don't know. I do think the White Sox are in town. Let me double check that.
I've only given the kid steroids 3 times. No, he fell in love with the game as soon as he played it, and
They're there the entire time.
He's just an athletic kid. Like
This isn't also the chess kid, right?
he does play chess, but the other kid is the chess kid. He started a tournament at school in his little chess club, and he won his first game, so he's all excited. He got his first point.
His first point.
I was going to say you gotta have one that's the athlete and the other that's the brainiac, because
if
you've got one that's both, boy, the other one's going to feel awful.
They're both into rock climbing. He is getting much better. We've been working on his baseball athleticism too, and he's doing great. Proud of him. The fact that he's sticking with it.
Hey Woods, the Guardians. I'd go to a Royals game too, actually. Oh, all right. Let's do this. Let's see. Where do the White Sox play? I always forget the name of their stadium.
Guaranteed rate field.
Is that the name of the stadium?
That's the name of the stadium.
So out of hand. So
What?
totally out of hand.
What the hell? What does that even... Okay. Guaranteed rate stadium it is. All right, so we go to maps, maps.google.com. And actually, do I want to go to maps? Yeah, I think I can get maps. I don't need to be doxing anybody again. Right.
I
we
thought,
got a
wow,
new
you
year?
pulled up that sample.env file, and I started freaking out.
That's just PHP roundtable. I'm rebuilding. There's nothing. Only thing I didn't want to do is share the key. Sheraton
Oh,
Streets of High.
Code Lorax, everything's in O'Hare. It's the Sheraton O'Hare that we're at, and that's where we're all flying into.
Yeah, it was. It looks like it's about just as far as Wrigley Field was. So maybe even a little closer, to be completely honest with you.
What are the nightly events? Because it asked on the form for the ticket, will you be attending the nightly events?
Just say yes.
Well, I did.
Right then, shut up and enjoy it.
Well,
Don't try
enjoy
to
what?
put us on the spot. The nightly events.
Exactly.
What are the nightly events?
I don't know. Do you have a sponsor that wants to pay for them?
Whatever Better Health is willing to flip the bill for.
Help.
Oh,
Help.
boy. That got me in trouble today, too.
Better Health?
Yeah, because you
Is
gave me a
BetterHelp?
discount. You gave me a discount code. Guess what the discount code says?
No idea.
Better Health.
No, it does not.
It certainly fucking does.
I'd say John created it, not me.
I got
No,
called
I
out.
know. I know the name of the company. I wouldn't have put Better Health. Stop
Well,
it.
Okay. I
Stop it.
Give you the link.
How
You don't need to do that.
how can I tell how much a 30-minute Uber ride would cost me?
Why
It's
did I say Better
It's
Health?
flexible pricing. You know, you can't look at it in advance.
I'm sorry. That is weird that I would have put that because I know what the name of the company is.
We own that domain too.
Oh.
It redirects, but still, my my boss said, so was this an accident or are they being funny?
Awoods, are you gonna be? Are you Awoods? Is Awoods coming to? Have we seen Awoods buy a ticket
Oh.
yet?
I'm sorry, Better Help.
Awoods, you coming to Tech? You want to go to a White Sox game?
Of course he's coming to Tech.
So
Yes, he's got a ticket.
I did hear through the
He was one of the
grapevine-
first ones to buy one.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I did hear through the grapevine that they only sponsor therapy and counseling and mental health conferences.
No bullshit. Bullshit.
They sponsor.
love you. I love you, Tom.
They sponsor Howard Stern for crying out loud.
No.
Yeah,
As far as conferences go, it's
Ah.
just focused on therapy stuff.
Gotcha. I say sponsor. They advertise on there.
I mean, they can still advertise the magazine.
Yeah, they could do that. I could. You have to bring that up with the marketing team.
Oh,
I have surprisingly little sway over there.
I don't know, guys. I think I'm liking.
Hey, Woods, you better
Hey,
get your hotel room quick. If
Oh
they-
yeah,
Yeah, I got stuck with 2 double beds.
That's all they
Dude.
have left.
Yep.
get it quick. We're not even joking. I'm not being funny. I'm not
The
trying
sad
to be
part is
funny.
you bought your ticket in September. The rate has gone up, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Honest-
and we have no
honestly-
control over that.
If somebody in Discord really can't get a hotel room, I've got 2 doubles. I wouldn't mind sharing a hotel room.
Are you going to be
You
the
said-
big
Not like
You slowed,
some people.
you slowed down at the perfect time there on my end. I wouldn't mind sharing.
If someone needs a hotel room and can't get one,
That's
thought
a
about
very
it.
weird invitation coming from.
So
I don't want
was
to be
thinking
with
this.
a bunch of normals,
That's what I was thinking too.
but I'll sleep with somebody I don't know.
not sleeping with. It's 2 beds, 2 separate beds.
Sleeping in the same room with somebody I don't know. How about that?
Yeah, exactly. There's still no barrier to killing you in your sleep.
Well, I'm not gonna kill anybody in
And
their
trust
sleep.
me, I shared a room with John once, and I woke up to him whispering in my ear, "The safe word is shish kebab."
Okay, well,
You weren't
I know
supposed to
that's
tell
not his-
anybody that,
yeah,
damn it.
I know that's not his safe word, so that's a lie.
It was back then. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
It was years ago. I've thought of so. You say we're being bullies. I agree. We're teasing. I have thought about reaching out to people to say, "Hey, is anyone wanting to share to help save money, split costs?" But
they are
I haven't
bullies.
done that.
I've mentioned this before, that I have some friends who listen to the podcast now, and they always say those guys are really mean to you.
Yeah. I've gotten messages. You guys need to let Tom talk more. I'm like, yeah, no, we really don't. He falls for every April Fool's joke out there.
Oh. That's your title.
All right,
April Fool's dummy.
I think PHP Brainiac or PHPStorm Brainiac or whatever that was, or one of A was
So good and memorable.
Taking the World by PHPStorm or Jet Brainiac, becoming Jet Brainiac. I feel weird having the sponsor be.
Nah, don't feel weird.
Title,
I think I like it. It's good.
It's gonna be such a nightmare for me though, because I'm gonna be in San Jose the week before, and then
let's go with PHP Taking the World by PHPStorm because it has PHP in it. Let's do it that one. That's our title.
I like that. We need to. I think especially the shorts. I tried updating them, but I don't think that counts as a fresh upload. You need to have hashtags in the title, especially of the shorts.
We have shorts.
Did they put hashtag? I'm pretty sure I put hashtags in there because I put Tech23 and
that I did that yesterday. In the most recent shorts, I added all the hashtags yesterday in the titles.
I have shorts hidden from my YouTube feed. So.
Really? I know I had them in there.
Maybe previous shorts. I only looked at the most recent 2 or 3. I say that because the only difference I can see outside of the content, the shorts that I've released, paragliding shorts, I've gotten, 1,500, 2,000 views.
Wow, Mr.
Versus,
Popular.
I mean, mine are stupid. My watch played an April Fool's joke on me.
Oh, did you see fall that for it?
What?
On April 1st, I climbed the mountain 3 times to fly. And usually when I'm hiking up, my watch will say, "It looks like you're working out. Do you want to record an outdoor hike?" or whatever it is. I'm hiking up the second time and it's like buzzing like, "Hey, do you want to record?" And I normally just ignore it. And I happen to look and it's like, "Hey, do you want to record a swim?" I'm like, "No." So I stopped and I took a quick video. Like my watch is playing an April Fool's joke on me. I'm hiking up for a second time and it's asking me if I want to swim. And I got comments from people like, "You need to stop sweating so much." I'm like, "Yeah." I realize that's probably why it's doing it, but I thought it was funny.
Comments from strangers or friends?
Yeah. No, strangers.
Oh, interesting. The code Lorax is, I think, one of your biggest fans, Tom, just so you know. They are the one that has called me out a couple times for being mean to you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
The social worker?
I just called them. Are they a social worker? No. They're not a social worker.
I don't know. All I know is what the survey about who you love the most said.
The code Lorax is one of his kids. All 4. Those were 3 of his kids, or 2 of his kids, and 1 of his non-kids, and 1 of his dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm up to 6,400 views on
children
that
straight.
Stupid video.
Mm-hmm. Just need to start monetizing.
So they changed the parameters on that. It was you had to have, 4,000 hours? It's now you have to have 4,000 hours in a 365-day rolling window. Because we were getting close.
That's a lot of hours.
Yeah, we were getting close. And then I looked again and was like, wait, what? And I was like, in the last 365 days. I'm like,
Dude,
or
my buddy
10 million views on your shorts.
My
10
buddy
million.
got
We can do that.
the best Slack emoji of him.
I'm going back and reading Discord. You guys, my kids do just fight in here, don't they?
Yeah. It was.
I mean, it's better in here than, out in the streets like animals.
What the hell? All right.
Oh, it's 10 million views on your shorts in a 90-day rolling window.
God. And there are people that do that. That kills me.
To what? To get monetized?
To monetize YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and then either 4,000 public watch hours in a 1-year period, or 10 million short views in a 90-day rolling window.
Oh boy.
Yeah, exactly.
John,
we need somebody full-time job watching our videos. What?
Yeah. We need to outsource to those bots where a guy's sitting with like 80 phones just swiping. You need to find a solution to my gutter issue. It's bugging me.
That reminds me, I gotta go upgrade. Although my toolbox is messed up for some reason.
80 hours and a 40-hour week. Every week of a year. So
that's your standard work. When you're doing calculations for pay, you're basing it off of roughly 2,000 hours.
Right. Code Lorex. I don't recall that. In fact, I encourage being mean to Tom. We might need your help, Code Lorex. I know you have offered, but I may need to reach out to you if that offer still stands. Need to figure out how we're getting that trailer to the hotel.
A chimp might be doing it.
Oh, really? Was that an option?
Yeah. In the original, we talked. There's this, and then this possibility, and all he said was he was in. He never clarified which part he was in for, one or both. So, Champ, if you're listening, clarify for us.
I hope to see you in Chicago. Oh man! All right, okay. Should we wrap this up? Because I want to start editing and go to bed before I'm killed in my sleep. Maybe I don't want to go to bed.
We're good. Thanks everyone for watching, listening, paying attention.
Thank you, everybody. Say bye, Toast.
Bye.
Bye.